We're not doing any niceties. We're not doing any intro stupidity. It's not needed. Um, owns the building. So I didn't need to call the cops. They did. They got the authorities involved in it because it was trashed. Shanny and I did not leave that place trashed. I think we're at the latter end of the latter end of the ladder of the tribulation.
Oh, a squirrel wants an apples. Here, have an apples.
That's her uncle. Donald is Mary Trump's uncle.
That's true.
You should listen to her shit about him because he's pretty mentally ill. You could say that.
Well, that's true. It's the fact that it's pineapple and
It's holy shit. Now say that she's not losing weight, okay? Try that. Try it. Pizza Maranatha. Boom. Check it, guys. Look at this. When we moved in, it had roaches.
I almost guarantee when Shanny very first showed up to Jason's with her garbage bags with her clothes and stuff in it, it had roaches all in it. She was that dirty and messy to where she caused people to have roaches. And she brought them along with her everywhere she went.
Was there poop in the cat box? Probably, yeah, because William was lazy and he did not clean out that box. And that was one of his duties. He had that entire floor to himself.
Didn't the kids have school? So, I mean, what did the unemployed mother do all day long and the unemployed loser boyfriend do all day long? Instead of cleaning the cat box. Huh? Y'all were home all day long eating up everything. You too, Jason. You were big.
And all he had to do was basically keep that cat box clean, and he didn't do it.
I've never seen a grown adult have such hatred for a kid the way Jason does Shanny's boys. Like, he enjoys every single time where he gets to blame it on a kid or down the kid. Like, it's sickening. The complete hatred he has for those two boys.
It's kids. They're going to do what the fuck they want, pretty much. So he didn't do it. So yeah, was there shit in the cat box? Yeah. But the people that came in after us took it and put the shit all over the place. So there was an investigation done in the conclusion.
He's making it seem like a stranger went in there to throw cat shit around and then take a picture of it to make them look bad. No, from the looks of it, the cat box was so full of cat poop that there was nowhere else for them to poop. They tried to poop in their box, but there was no clean spot, so they pooped on the outside. That's disgusting, and that's your guys' fault. Yours and Shanny's fault.
Conclusion was that we were not liable because there was a $60,000 debt with my name on it that went poof. Why? Because the investigation concluded by the cops in Westminster, and it was found that Dragnot's people, whoever he paid, because he admits to it in the video I showed you, dissecting Dragnot on Everything Nice channel, he admits to paying a person $100 to go in there.
Don't act like you two ain't living in squalor still. You guys are. And now that those lazy, bad, trashy kids are gone, what is your excuse? And that's per Jason, by the way. I don't feel that way about those kids. Every time he brings those kids up, it's always something negative they did. Okay? And he just thinks of them as trash. That's all. But anyways, what is their excuse for living in squalor? They don't have one. It's because they're the reason everything was destroyed and still is. Like, for God's sakes, Shanny, she had Little Debbie Little Debbie snack cakes all around the toilet in their apartment. She couldn't even sit there and take a shit without having to eat a cupcake. Like, an old dried food on the plate. That bathroom counter alone was covered in old plates of food, takeout, cupcakes, Twinkies, cookies. And we all know that they had roaches there. Living like that, yeah. And they probably brought all them roaches, or a lot of them, to make babies in Jason's house that they're in right now. So yeah, it's safe to say Shanny and Jason still have roaches.
Case closed. They vandalized the apartment. And the investigation in Colorado concluded that. I was not liable. The people that broke in there and vandalized it after, and they were paid to do it by Dragnet. That's the story. I didn't even know all the details. Now,
All right, enough of this old clown for a moment. I'm going to switch it over to Shanny's live stream she just did today. And apparently she's said she had an infection in her jaw. Huh, wonder what that could be.
Like, I've been gone for a few days because I got an infection in my jaw. My jaw got swollen. I really didn't want to talk. It was very painful. You know, this vitamin D deficiency has thoroughly killed my teeth.
Vitamin D. It's from you not ever getting a bad tooth pulled out. Just get the thing pulled out. Who gives a fuck whether you get a tooth or dentures in there? I mean, now it's too late. They're all broken off at the gum line. And I'm just surprised she ain't been in the hospital by now from it. I am surprised she hasn't had any abscesses. Maybe it's starting because she said it was swollen. She needs to go see a doctor as soon as possible. Even a quick clinic will give her antibiotics and whatever else she may need, like for pain or whatever, until the dentist can get her in to remove it. If not, she's going to get really sick.
And it caused a horrible infection. And it was just painful. And I know it was caused by fucking saltine crackers. And that pisses me off too, because it's like, are you kidding me? I can't even eat saltine crackers now without being in severe pain. Okay.
You can't leave broke off at the gum line teeth in your mouth. You know how bad that hurts? Having a cavity, let alone a tooth completely out of there, but it's still like, what is it, the root? I could not imagine. Like, I'm assuming she never called a teledoc. I'm assuming she never went and saw a doctor, nothing. She doesn't sound like she saw a doctor. She thinks it's just from eating saltine crackers. Never mind the junk she eats on a daily basis and never going to a dentist. Yeah, it's the crackers.
I get it. So I've been basically living on soup and sandwiches, like soft shit.
What I want to know is, why isn't her caretaker, Jason, trying to get her into a doctor? Because we all know if she's starting to get an infection, she's going to end up in the hospital. Or if she don't ever go, she can pass away from it. Like, I don't know what the hell she's waiting on. She should have been gone to the dentist when all of her teeth started breaking off at the gum line. I mean, I don't understand why she's so worried about getting all her teeth removed. Or whatever's left removed. Those teeth are done. There's no going back. The damage is way past done. It's going to do now is be an infection after an infection, and then if you never get seen from it, then, you know, the worst of the worst is going to happen. Like, you getting them removed ain't going to make a lick of difference of how you look. You know, you barely have any left, so it's not going to be that big of a noticeable change. Just get them removed.
But that's not why I'm sad. It's not why I'm mad. I'm sad because, as you heard, King Cobra passed away. And it's like, really, eating me up, and I've been watching videos of his and laughing and just like really just thinking like, God damn, this kid was only like 34 years old. He was only 34 years old. And seeing his father Clint cry the way he did over losing his son, you know, and I'm like, of course, as a mother, I'm like thinking about my sons and crying, and Jason's next to me and he's crying, and you know, like when you watch his content, you know, a lot of people prejudge him about the way he looks.
And so were you and Jason about a month or so ago when you guys were watching one of his videos. You guys were talking a little bit of trash about him, talking about how weird he is and whatnot. Y'all were too.
And always have. But when you watch him, you see this human vulnerability and yet the sweetness with him, and then you see the alcoholism and how much of a plight that is, and it gets to my heart, you know. His father doesn't really know what Josh passed away of. They're doing an autopsy. He said it could be his appendix or his liver. What is known, though, with King Cobra is, guys, this is what makes me mad. Is, did you know these son of a bitches, after Ozzy died, they were sending him gallons of alcohol. And of course, he was drinking it. So it's like, I mean, come on, you know what he died of? Alcoholism, alcohol intoxication. It's going to come in the autopsy report, you know, knowing they were given gallons. And I'm just so frustrated because it's like, I have an autistic son myself. I
mean, can she ever just not turn someone else's tragedy and make it her own? She's always got to put me, me too, me better. I'm better. I know better. I went through worse. She's always got to throw herself in the mix somewhere.
I'm just thinking, you know, from my own point of view, you know, I have a son that's been bullied the majority of his life, just like Cobra, you know.
The nerve of her to act like her boys are victims of other people as well. No, they're victims of your boyfriend, your current boyfriend. Is that what you're trying to get at or something?
I know he's very, you know, anti-alcohol, which is awesome. Never get into alcohol. Never. It's awful shit. And yeah, you know, I'm pissed off at his audience members. You know, when they were pumping him full of this booze, and to me, and my feeling, it's like, you killed him.
Like the same way you had Jason slumped over for years on the couch while you were in the back room spending his money, and you kept, you know, handing him a drink. Here, drink some more. We know exactly what kind of person you were. You were sitting there getting him so hammered. So, and he couldn't even move off the couch or talk, anything. He couldn't do anything until y'all ran out of money. You guys had no choice. It was either food or booze, and you chose food.
You killed this guy with this enormous talent to entertain people. Maybe it was in weird ways, but he still was very funny, very, very charismatic. You know, he did things for his audience, and a lot of his audience loved him, and they're not responsible for that. But in my opinion, I think the people who are responsible were the ones pumping him full of the booze, and you killed him, and now there's not going to be any.
So she's sitting over there blaming strangers on the internet who are watching a YouTube channel for an alcoholic's passing. What's next, Shanny? You have a serious tooth infection and that takes you, and then Jason gets on here and yells at everybody for bullying Shanny and saying we're the reason why? No. Nope.
Any more King Cobra content. Now there's not going to be anything of him ever again.
On a serious note, though, I can definitely see Jason, if something did ever happen to Shanny's, like a bad tooth infection that she never got checked out or nothing, I could see him coming to the internet and trying to guilt trip everybody and say it was all their fault. It was all their fault this happened, even though it was from a tooth infection. But anyways, this next last little clip is kind of strange and weird. I just want y'all to listen to it. And yeah, that's basically the end of this video. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.
Like, the Republican Party, our forefathers would just be oh my God.
Yeah.
George Washington would probably, like, I hate to say it, he'd probably take Trump out, you know?
You really don't want to even go there.
I don't know.
Don't want it.
But, like...
Not a mutter of stuff like that. But I understand. That's why I say something like, you say it differently. You say that the CIA has to do its job.
Yes.
That's what you say.
Yes. But I'm just saying, Abraham Lincoln, if he knew this was happening, or George Washington, dude.
The obvious answer is what to do is to do it. Yes. It's the obvious answer.
He'd have a noose around his neck.
Yep.